Hello, welcome back to NVfineARTstudio. I'm Nina and today we are going to be painting a seascape with boats just after sunset. This is a perfect subject to talk about tonal values and how tonal values affect composition. Recently I've done a couple of workshops and I've noticed that the hardest part is to interpret a photograph, not in regards to painting it as is, but actually to make a painting, a piece of art from this photo or from real life. And the major part of doing this is to interpret the photo in tonal value shapes, in tonal value geometry. Also, recently I received a message from one of my patrons on Facebook from masterclass tier about the proportions of dark tonal values, middle tonal values and light tonal values in the composition, and particularly about 70, 20 and 10, 70 being middle tonal values, 20 light tonal values and 10 dark tonal values. If it's true or not, it's true. It's a very classy way of dividing your tonal values in painting, but you don't have to stick to this. And it really depends on what kind of mood you want to create. If it's an evening scene, you will definitely have more middle and darks in your painting rather than light. Or if you want a stronger contrast in your painting, you will have less middle tonal values and more of dark and light against each other and things like that. But today I just want to simplify it as much as possible, because I know this is this demonstration is for beginner tier, and I try to go really slow and explain every single step and the importance of tonal value and the importance of geometry. As I keep mentioning, the simplest way to approach a painting, sorry, I'm looking at the reference, I've got a reference photo here. In my opinion, the simplest composition you can have, the easiest ways to start even thinking about composing your tonal values is to obviously start with only three tonal values: medium, dark and light. And just because you have these three, then you divide your painting in three parts. The easiest way is to divide sky and earth, or sky and water, into two parts like that. So this is your sky, this is your water, that's your middle tonal values and that's your light tonal values, and then arrange your darks. In this painting, just because this is against the light, our focal area, the boats, they all against the light, so they all in shadow. And this is why I picked this reference photo, because I don't really want you to get bogged with details, with objects. I just want you to paint shapes in correct tonal values. So when you have a subject, try to think how you can divide it into halves. And when I say halves, I don't mean 50-50%, it can be 70-30 or any percentage that you want. This composition, we're going to divide it into sky and sea. That's your middle values and then your light values. And theoretically, your focal area is where the light meets the dark, because you need the strongest contrast in your focal area. Focal area is probably this, just because I really like it, and this is where I want your eye to go straight away, but at the same time I really like the ripples over here on the sea. So that's going to be my primary focal area, and this is going to be my secondary focal area. I'm going to put on the screen a couple more examples on how you can divide the painting into halves, because it doesn't have to be completely horizontal line. It can go into diagonal, it can go in a circle, L shape, A shape, all the shapes that we discussed before, classy shapes. I'm going to put on the screen so you can start developing an idea of how you can arrange tonal value. And just remember, when you actually start painting, For example, you pick your tonal value for the sky as medium tonal value and sea as light tonal value, then you try to stick to this tonal value. You don't paint suddenly sky in light values, you need to paint them in middle values. Same as the sea, same as your focal area, your boats, they need to be dark. You can't really just think about it, you need to put it on paper. And that's when practicing tonal values comes very, very important. And talking about practice, we're going to actually start with little practice. We're going to practice a gradient. We're going to practice 3 major tonal values, light, medium, and dark. We're going to practice dry brush marks for the reflection, for the water, and we're also going to practice making little details with different brushes, because I know painting details can be really difficult. I know it looks kind of simple because the only thing you do is lines and little dots and little things, but when you do details, the less is more and every brush mark counts. So that's what we're going to practice today. 3 tonal values, a gradient, dry brush marks, and details. Let's begin. this, oh, that's the finished painting. I'm going to sign it. And this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed painting along with me. I hope you learned lots of new things today. I hope all my tips about tonal values, paint consistency, how to paint the gradient, how to hold the brush, all these little things help you. And I would highly recommend doing lots of practice before you start painting, and not just in regards to what we did today. In general, before you start painting, practice maybe 10-15 minutes on one particular technique, or maybe a couple of particular techniques that you're planning to use on the painting, and then start painting. Once more, if you're part of masterclass community, please post your works on Facebook. Looking forward to seeing you there and giving you some feedback. This is all. Until my next video. Goodbye.